right, everybody. It is 9 o'clock. Let's get right into it. We do this show every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern on Twitter Spaces. I'm Alan Gay, and this is Now D1 Speaks. I am really excited about tonight. We have got Elias Reyes with us. He is from California. He's a 25 uncommitted, and we're going to have a great time. So, hey, Elias, are you there?
I'm right here. What's going on?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. So glad you're here. Hey, why don't you introduce yourself? Maybe let us know what high school you go to, travel team, GPA, and really how'd you get into baseball?
My name is Elias Reyes. I go to South Hills High, and then I play for SoCal Giants. And then I really got into baseball by, I could say my dad, just growing up around the field, just seeing him play, playing Sunday League or whatever his rec league was, and just being around on a baseball field and being born into a baseball family.
Hey, man, that's really cool. That's a great way to grow up. How about how's your GPA?
Oh, that's a 4.0, but at our school we have a non-weighted GPA, so the max you can get is a 4.0. But it would be a little higher
Hey,
if I had weighted.
hey, that's outstanding. Hard to get better than perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, that's outstanding. So you go to South Hills, California. Where is that?
It's in West Covina. I'm gonna give you a couple players that have been there. Ty France, recent call-up Jacob Amaya, the Giambi brothers, Corey Lytle brothers. There's a couple big leaguers that came from that school.
Man, ton of talent right there.
Mm.
My goodness. So let me kind of give us an idea. How did your season go?
Our season went really well, actually. We kind of were a slow start, but we found it towards the end of the season, and we made it all click together heading into the playoffs. And then we found a groove towards the end, and then we had lost a heartbreaker in the championship.
State championship?
Well, CIF, and then we went to states, and then we lost in the semis.
I got you, man. What an awesome run. Man, I tell you what, it sounds like you guys put together a phenomenal year. Were y'all like a senior team or was it a young team or kind of evenly balanced?
We lost our two captains, sadly, our ace and then our shortstop, but we're looking really strong going into next year. We're mostly kind of 24, 25 heavy, so we'll be good for next year.
Sounds like y'all will be really good for next year. Sounds like you got great tradition too. I mean, a lot of history at the school, tons of athletes, kind of loaded up. Sounds like you had a great run this year, and you're probably getting wound up for another great run next year as well, man. That's super exciting.
Yeah, it is. Hey, I think we're gonna go into
No doubt.
to Division 1 next year. We're Division 2 this past year.
Gotcha. Okay. Hey, that's awesome. So, what position do you play? And then maybe give us a strength or two that you have, and maybe even one or two things you're working on.
Uh, I'm a right-handed pitcher. My strengths are obviously um, my fastball, and then I would say my slider. The one thing I'm working on right now is working on my curveball, and then finding more location with my changeup, being more comfortable throwing that with like a 3-0 count, 2-0 count.
Okay, I got you. Hey, give us some measurements. What's your height and weight?
6 foot. I weigh in around like 177, 180. It varies around there.
Okay. And what are you topping out? Everybody loves to talk about velo.
Well, right now the highest I got was in a pen was 89, but in game 88.
Hey, man, that's outstanding. You're 25, right?
Yes.
Man, 88, that's awesome. That is fantastic. So, and you already kind of talked about your secondaries, but one thing I'm always wondering about, if you had an absolute go-to pitch, I mean, the game is on the line and there's one pitch you could throw, what is it for you?
My slider. Side-
Your slider.
That's my
I
away
love it.
pitch. That's my get out pitch. That's I could throw that any count in my opinion.
So I have to imagine you're kind of a strikeout pitcher.
Yes. Uh,
Yeah.
if there is any contact, it's gonna be a weak contact in my opinion. It's just me as a pitcher and me getting out there and being competitive.
Man, Elias, I love that confidence. What a great answer. That is awesome. Congratulations. Hey, everyone that's joining, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. Again, we do this every Monday through Thursday where we get together at 9 o'clock. If you got on late, don't worry about it. We record this space, so we're going to be able to retweet it out later, and you can hear it in its entirety. We're talking with Elias Reyes. He is a 25 uncommitted. He's out of Southern California, right-handed pitcher. So let me ask you something. 14 years you've been kind of hanging around, watching your dad play, growing up on the field. You got a great career already starting. I mean, you've found a ton of success just right off the bat. How do you keep yourself motivated? What is it that you're doing to kind of push yourself to get better?
Obviously to give myself a better future, but to give my parents kind of get them retired, and that's what motivates me. And also playing for the ones that aren't with me anymore, like all my loved ones. My biggest fan, my grandma, she passed away sadly during COVID, but that's one of the bigger motivators for me, is to do it for her and do it for the other ones that are not here with us.
Hey, man, that's really touching. Sorry to hear about your grandmother by all means, but man, playing for everybody that's around you, and you're doing it the right way because you're knocking out the grades too. I mean, it's not like you're just heavy focused on the field and saying, all right, I'm going to make it athletically. You're taking care of both sides. You're giving yourself the best chance to go to any school that you want to, and because you never know what may happen in your athletic career. At some point it's going to end. It may end when you're in college. It may end 20 years from now, but it's going to end. And the way you're taking care of your academics, that's what it's all about, man. You got your head on right. Congratulations again. Doing it the way you're supposed to, Elias.
Thank you.
Hey, man, no doubt. So let me ask you something, and I got to believe you have, tell us about maybe some memorable moments and achievements that you've had on the field, or maybe just tell us about one. And if you could, kind of add to it and tell us what you really learned from that achievement.
Memorable moments. Let's see. Um, that's hard. I can't really think of one. Just picking out one, but I would say, shoot,
Man, you got to tell us about the championship
the
game. I
championship
mean,
game.
come on, that was a big deal.
Yeah, we came out hot. That was a memorable game. Like it hurts to talk about it. It's still sensitive, but that game was a fun one. We came out the gate hot. Scored 4 in the first inning. Kind of slimmer, like slowed down. They came back with 2. We put up another run. So came into the last inning up 5-2, but it didn't go our way. But it was definitely a memorable season, memorable game. I loved all my boys that were with me. I was sadly out with a hand injury, but that season, that playoff run was something to never forget. The teammates I have, one teammate just joined, Steven. He's one of my brothers. All of them, I'll never forget.
What a fantastic run, man. I'm sorry that you were out with that injury, but my gosh, what a heartbreaker too to win every game and to literally be leading every inning until the very end and then kind of get walked off. Oh my gosh. I mean, if that won't motivate you going into next year, I don't know what will.
Yeah, it's definitely a motivator. It's definitely we got a big shoes to fill for next year for the seniors that left us with it, but it's nothing we can't do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. Hey, let me ask you, are you ready to dominate at the plate this season? Blast Baseball is the number one hitting improvement solution. It's trusted by more major league, college, and travel ball teams than any other. The Blast sensor attaches to the knob of any bat, providing real-time feedback with every swing. Metrics are automatically sent to a smartphone app, generating insights that allow you to analyze and improve your hitting like never before. Hey, go to blastmotion.com and enter code NOWD1 at checkout to save $25. Unlock your potential with Blast. Hey, tonight we're talking with Elias Reyes. He's a 25. He's uncommitted. He's in California, right-handed pitcher, topping out at about 88. Guy's got great grades. He's got a great athletic future ahead of him. So let me ask you about those two pieces. How do you balance your academic commitments with all the work that you're doing on the field as well?
I really take my classes seriously. When it comes to class, I'm not on my phone. just pay attention, give the teacher my time, and ask questions when I need to learn something, and really not procrastinate. When I get assigned something, I do it right away. I don't wait till the last second to do it, knock it out, and then obviously go handle my business on and off the field. So it's just really not procrastinating and staying on top of my stuff.
Man, I got to tell you, that's so mature right there. And that is a great way to handle your business. And I think the thing that's always kind of amazed me, if you start out fast and you get your grade squared away early in ninth grade, 10th grade, it gets so much easier when you're in 11th grade and 12th grade. It's very difficult to catch up on the back end. And it sounds like you're a smart guy anyway, but it sounds like you're kind of focused on the classroom. You got great time management skills, and hey, you got a 4.0. So I mean, you're absolutely knocking that piece out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, are there any particular players or coaches that have really been influential in your development as a player?
Yeah, there's a couple. Obviously, my trainer's Art of Pitching. It's my go-to guy right now. He's been with me since I was a youngin', known me since I was 13. Really took me under his wing. My other pitching coach, Ryan Halstead, another big guy that's helped me improve to the velo I am right now. Both of them, like they're both have their ins and outs with me, and my strength trainer, Rob. Uh, my two coaches right now, Christian and Chuck, they're doing me a really big thing this summer, helping me with this commitment process and all this recruiting stuff. And that's all I get. Oh, obviously my head coach at South Hills, Murphy, and then my pitching coach over there, South Hills, Sandela.
Absolutely. I love that art of pitching. So what's his last name?
Salazar.
Salazar. Okay. How did you come in contact with Art Salazar and Ryan Halstead? Who dialed you into those guys?
Art was a guy when I reclassed into the 25 class. He was at a prep school that I entered at. He was a pitching guy that just started off, and kind of got started talking to him, and then started believing in what he was saying, and yeah, I just really believed it, and look where I am now. So he's been a big part of the pitcher I am, and then Ryan Halstead. He's a former AAA guy. He's with the Giants. Recently, just started working with him probably a couple months ago. Got in contact with him during Instagram, and yeah, it really took off when I started working with him.
Did I understand that correctly? You found Ryan Halstead on Instagram?
Yes.
Wow. How did that happen? I mean, did you just luck up and kind of come across him and he lived close in the area and you reached out, or were you specifically looking for a trainer?
No, I was well, obviously he's another really good friend of Art's. They're really good buds. So it's like them two training, like their training styles interlock with each other. So if I go with one of them, I'm gonna be training the same way I'd be with the other one. Their
Gotcha.
training regiments are about the same thing, but I got in contact with him talking to the head guy at EM, and then obviously Ryan reached out to me, and then we started talking, and then we just got to work.
Man, that is so impressive. I tell you, it is very important to surround yourself with good people, and that's exactly what you've done. I mean, these are guys they've kind of been through it. You know, they got great history. They're obviously good teachers. You're able to comprehend what it is that they're talking about, and then you're able to apply it as well. And you may have mentioned it, but you just said the initials EM. What's the EM?
EM is another prep school in our area in Southern California. I don't know what the EM stands for, but I couldn't tell you that. But it's like another big prep school, like IMG, but like a smaller,
Gotcha.
more focused on baseball players and softball players.
Gotcha. Heck yeah, absolutely. I'm over here in Florida. In fact, I'm in Orlando. I know all about IMG. I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, definitely. Hey, everybody that joined, again, thank you so much. We absolutely appreciate it. I mentioned that we record this space. One of the reasons we record it, we turn it into a podcast. The podcast is Now D1 Speaks. It is on every major platform that you could possibly imagine. I would certainly appreciate if you went out and found us. If you like this type of content, again, it's now D1 Speaks. Subscribe. And if you want to give us a 5-star rating, I certainly wouldn't stop you from doing that. So let me ask you, with the 4.0 and all the work that you're doing off the field as well, how is it that you prepare mentally for a game? How do you kind of go from that academic piece to just flipping a switch when you get to the field, and whether it's practice, a light workout, or really more importantly, a game? How do you do that?
When school ends, especially during high school season, get into the locker room, you see all your boys, you see all your teammates, your buds, you have music blasting, it just gets you into that feel good mood. And for like a star or me coming knowing I'm gonna pitch that day, it's just really staying loose and not getting too tense and not thinking about it so much and trying not to get in my head.
Man, I love it. I love it. So, you've kind of got the work already knocked out in the classroom. You're able to focus a little bit on the school. On the field, and it sounds like you are just throwing, kind of immersing yourself into the guys that are on the team, what you've got to do at hand, and just kind of letting all the training and the work that you put into it, just kind of letting that just take over your body and just flow.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you something. You're playing with the SoCal Giants. SoCal Giants are big. Again, I'm over here in Florida, and there are absolutely some national type travel teams that I recognize right off the bat, and that's one of them. That's a big time team. Hey, if you're playing with the so-called Giants, it's not a joke to be playing with them. And if you're producing as well, you're an awesome prospect. Got a big future right in front of you. So let me ask you something, Elias. What are some short-term goals? Maybe something that you're just trying to achieve over the summer, and then maybe a little bit longer. Where do you kind of see yourself, and what is it that you're driving to toward the next maybe 2 to 5 years?
Short-term goals by the end of the summer. Obviously, the big one when August 1st hits for the 25s is you can start talking to colleges since the NCAA rule changed. Obviously, I want to get verbally committed. Another short-term goal I have is hitting 90 off the mound, really close to that, hit 89 in a pen. And long-term, 2 to 5 years. Well, I have 2 years left in high school, so hopefully win a CIF championship. And then obviously have a successful college career at wherever I end up at, wherever that may be. And hopefully after that, junior year comes around and I'm draft eligible, and hopefully I get my name called in the draft.
Man, that's exciting. That's some fantastic goals right there that you kind of roll through. That 90 is always a key number, isn't it? Hit that 90. And now the new date, August 20, you got to hit that August date before before the Division I guys can talk to you. And which in many ways is probably not only better for the schools, but I think it's actually probably a lot better for the guys too. I hate for you or anyone else to maybe having to kind of wait around, so to speak. But I tell you, I think it's actually probably a good rule that's actually been put in place. So very, very exciting. Hey, again, anybody that's joining us, thank you again so much. Absolutely appreciate it. If you're uncommitted and you're in high school or even a JUCO uncommitted, reach out to me on Twitter. I'm at now_D1. I'd love to interview you. Got a ton of coaches that are listening to this content. They may not jump on during the live Twitter space, but they are subscribing to the podcast. It gives them the opportunity to kind of look through who's been interviewed, what states they live in, so forth, what positions that they're playing. All that kind of information goes into the title. So they can kind of pick and choose who it is that they want to listen to. And I got to tell you, I think this forum is ideal for recruiting. You've got somebody, hey, Elias, you're just absolutely knocking it out on the field. But guess what? You are also killing it in the classroom. And I know that is one thing that coaches are absolutely dialed into. They know the kids that they're going to recruit are going to know how to play baseball. They're going to be big, fast, strong. They're going to be good baseball players. The one piece they're not always 100% sure about is what kind of guy are you going to be off the field. because they don't want to deal with issues or deal with problems. And I think the beauty of this type of forum, it gives you an opportunity to kind of talk about your achievements, what you've been able to do off the field as well as on the field. And I got to tell you, just talking with you, Elias, I love that tweet. That was one of the last things that I looked at before we started talking. You were saying, hey, I'm keeping myself in the running to be valedictorian. And I kind of looked at your grades, and all I was seeing was A plus, A plus, A plus, A plus. Oh, next semester, A plus, A plus, A plus. And I'm telling you, that's what it's all about. You're taking care of your business, and you're going to give any coach in America the opportunity to say, hey, man, I'm a competitor on the field, but look what I'm doing off the field as well. And that gives them that sense of confidence to give you the offer. So, again, I just keep giving you tons of congratulations, man. You're absolutely handling yourself the way you're supposed to. So, one of the things that we just talked about were what are your goals over the next 5 years? And man, you were talking about, hey, you wanted to have the opportunity to play at the next level. And then after that, even the next level. But let me tell you, to get to college, you got to absolutely be recruited. And I know you're waiting to have the direct communication come August, but kind of just give me a sense of where you are in the recruiting process right now. I mean, are you going to camps? Have you had anybody kind of reach out to you? Are you getting some good direction? Just give us a feel for where you are now. And then maybe kind of tell us what's an ideal environment for you for college. I mean, if you had a choice, do you want to go to a big state school, maybe a smaller private school? Would you prefer to go out of state? So kind of give us a feel, just overall recruiting process and then an ideal environment.
Recruiting process, SoCal Giants, they do a really good job of that. We have a bunch of guys that come out to our games, kind of inter squad, and really just go out there and compete. So the scouts that are there, obviously have a pretty good following on Twitter. My pitching coaches, they have a really good connections with people around Southern California and even out of the States. And that's basically how my recruiting process before. I had a couple contacts before the rule change, but obviously can't talk to them now. And that's about it.
Got you on the recruiting process. I understand that 100%. Hey, what would be, and you don't have to name schools, but what would be an ideal college fit for you that you think right now?
Ideal college fit for me right now? I would say a school that's obviously ready to compete, no matter who's at their school or what they did the past years, because that doesn't matter when a new year starts with a new team, new mindset, new goals. So just a team and coaching staff that's just hungry to win.
I like that. What are you thinking about majoring in?
Business administration.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I got to tell you, everything that you're saying, I mean, you're just extremely mature and confident in your answers. I mean, you just come across absolutely as somebody who is squared away. And I think that just speaks volumes of you. You got great people that have already surrounded you. You're putting down a great track record in school. You're putting down a ton of success on the field. I tell you, Elias, you're really absolutely, without question, kind of setting yourself up here. I know you got to be excited.
Yeah, it's definitely an exciting process, going through it all. Talking to the first colleges, you get excited, and they start rolling, start talking to more. You just get more excited, and as it gets closer, you just start thinking about your lifelong dreams starting to unfold in front of you, and it's really inspiring and emotional.
Man, it is inspiring and emotional. And I'm kind of grinning ear to ear while you're saying that. And it's one of the things that I always think about when I do these types of interviews. I mean, Elias, you're right here on the doorstep of the rest of your life. You know what I mean? You've got a couple of years of high school left, and you're about to make a decision, of where you're going to go to school. And it sounds hokey. It's not a 4-year decision. It's truly a 40-year decision. And I know your parents and your family and your loved ones, the people that you said you're also kind of playing for, I mean, I guarantee you, they are just so proud of you, and they are supporting you 100%. And they are so excited to see where it is that you're going to end up going and what kind of man you're going to become. And it is just right here, And I think that's just so exciting, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Hey, let me ask you something here as we kind of wrap this up. If you were to give some advice to maybe a younger athlete, the guy that's just sitting here thinking, man, I want to be like Elias. I really, really like baseball. I think I'm super good at it. I'm good in the classroom, and I just want to kind of throw everything I got at it. What would you tell him?
Number one is to stay humble, because life can change within an instant. Thank God for giving you
Hmm.
another day for living. Thank God for giving you the ability to go play baseball. Just stay humble. Don't really put down others because everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own goals. Everyone has their own way to things. So just really stay focused on yourself. Don't worry about the social media stuff, and to not quit when the stuff gets hard. Because battling injuries, I've gone through it, and obviously you go. Baseball is a mental game. 90% mental, 10% physical. They say, and it really is a mental battle. So really to stay locked in the mental side, and if you need anyone to talk to, always talk to the people around you because I'm pretty sure they'll listen to you, and just keep playing and having fun with baseball because at the end of the day, it's just a game.
Hmm. Man, I got to tell you, that's some great advice right there. It sounds like a lot of things that you've lived yourself, and now you would have the opportunity to kind of pass it along. Man, that's outstanding, Elias. Hey, let me ask you guys: are y'all ready to dominate at the plate? Blast Baseball is trusted by more major league and college teams than any other hitting solution. The blast sensor attaches to the knob of the bat, providing real-time feedback with every swing. Go to blastmotion.com and enter code NOWD1 at checkout to save $25. Hey, Elias, man, I got to tell you, I have really honestly enjoyed tonight. It is so exciting to hear from somebody like you. I hope you've enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
Yeah, it was a fun one. I am really looking forward to your progress, and I hope we're able to stay in touch. I tell you something I think would really be cool when you commit, when August comes and you have an opportunity to say, and maybe you want to hold off. I mean, everybody decides at a different time, but once you commit to go to whatever school you commit to, man, I would love for you to kind of come back on. I think it would be so cool to kind of go through that process, the phone calls, the emails, the texts, who came and watched you play, and kind of walk through that. I think it would be really inspiring to other uncommitted kids too. I hope we'll be able to stay in touch and do
Oh,
that.
definitely for sure. That sounds something like I would be interested in.
Oh, heck yeah, man. I think that's so cool. Hey, I do want to let you guys know that tomorrow we've got Drew Maxfield coming on. Drew's a 24 uncommitted. He's from the state of Texas. I think you're going to love his story. I think it's very, very exciting as well. I hope you tune in. Again, we're going to be doing this at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night. Hey, Elias, again, thank you so much for being here. Absolutely appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.